Once upon a time, in a land far to the north, where the winter never ended, there was a kingdom made entirely of ice and snow. This was the realm of the Snow Queen, a powerful and mysterious ruler who could command the wind and snow with a mere flick of her hand. Her castle, a towering structure of glittering ice, stood at the very heart of her kingdom. Surrounded by frozen lakes, snowy forests, and mountains capped with eternal frost, the Snow Queen was known throughout the lands as both beautiful and fearsome. Her long, flowing hair shimmered like frost in the morning light, and her eyes were as cold and blue as the deepest glacier. While she ruled her kingdom with grace and precision, she was also distant and alone, her heart as icy as the world she had created. One day, as the Snow Queen gazed out from her ice palace, she noticed something unusual in the distance. A tiny speck of color was moving through the endless white landscape, something she had not seen in many years. It was a small, brave girl named Clara, who had ventured into the Snow Queen's frozen kingdom in search of her brother, Kai. Kai had been taken by the Snow Queen months ago, enchanted by her cold beauty, and lured into her icy realm. He had fallen under a spell that made him forget his family and friends, his heart turning as cold as the ice that surrounded him. But Clara, full of love and determination, refused to give up on her brother. She had journeyed through blizzards, crossed treacherous frozen rivers, and battled the bitter cold to find him. As Clara approached the palace, the Snow Queen watched her with a mix of curiosity and indifference. She had seen many try to enter her kingdom, but none had ever succeeded. Yet, there was something about Clara, a warmth and light that even the Snow Queen could not ignore. Clara reached the gates of the Ice Palace and called out to the Snow Queen. "Please, Snow Queen, let me see my brother. I know he is here, and I will not leave without him." The Snow Queen descended from her throne of ice and appeared before Clara, her presence commanding and awe-inspiring. "Why should I grant you this wish, child?" the Snow Queen asked, her voice as cold as the wind that howled through the kingdom. Clara stood her ground, despite the freezing cold that bit at her skin. "Because I love my brother, and love is stronger than any magic. I will not leave him here to be forgotten in your frozen kingdom." The Snow Queen was taken aback by Clara's words. She had long forgotten what love felt like, her heart encased in ice for centuries. But something about Clara's determination stirred something deep within her, something she had thought long buried. "Very well," the Snow Queen said, her voice softer now. "But to free your brother, you must prove that your love can melt even the coldest heart. If you can do this, I will release him from my spell." Clara nodded, determined to save Kai no matter the cost. The Snow Queen led her through the palace, where the walls glittered like diamonds and the air was filled with the cold, crisp scent of winter. They came to a grand hall, where Kai sat on a throne of ice, his eyes distant and his heart frozen. Without hesitation, Clara rushed to Kai and embraced him, her warm tears falling onto his cold cheeks. "Kai, it's me, Clara. Please remember me. Remember home." For a moment, nothing happened. But then, as Clara's love surrounded him, a single tear slipped from Kai's eye. The ice that encased his heart began to crack, and slowly, the spell began to break. Warmth returned to his body, and his eyes filled with recognition and love. "Clara," he whispered, his voice full of wonder and relief. "You found me." As the warmth of their love filled the room, something extraordinary happened. The ice that had imprisoned Kai and encased the Snow Queen's heart began to melt. The Snow Queen watched in amazement as her icy kingdom softened, the walls of her palace turning into shimmering water, and the snow outside transforming into a blanket of soft, green grass. The Snow Queen felt a tear slide down her own cheek, something she had not felt in centuries. Her heart, once frozen, began to thaw, and she realized that she, too, had been under a spell, one of loneliness and isolation. With a sad, yet understanding smile, the Snow Queen spoke. "You have shown me the power of love, Clara. I release your brother from my kingdom, and I release myself from the cold that has gripped my heart for so long." As the last of the ice melted away, the Snow Queen's frozen kingdom vanished, replaced by a lush, beautiful landscape where spring flowers bloomed, and birds sang in the trees. Clara and Kai stood hand in hand, reunited and safe, and they watched as the Snow Queen disappeared into the mist. Her heart now free, Clara and Kai returned home, their journey through the Snow Queen's kingdom becoming a tale told for generations, a story of love, bravery, and the power to melt even the coldest heart. And though the Snow Queen was never seen again, it was said that her spirit lived on in the flowers that bloomed every spring, a reminder of the warmth and beauty that love can bring to even the coldest of places.